know how I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Champions League. I am Toby1, the host of the English live stream tonight, doing our second set of the European series before we head ourselves into our American series later on this evening. We are doing Team Empire versus Cloud9. Cloud9 already going a 2-0 victory in their first setup against Fnatic, even though Game 1 looked a little shaky. Game 2 looked a hell of a lot better for them. For now, they're up against Team Empire, the leaders of the European division, so we'll see how they fare up against them. And a man that is joining me is a man who loves to decode everything and cries a tear for the said tinker. It is Bulba. Welcome to the broadcast.
Oh, hi, Toby.
Hi,
Welcome
Bulba.
back. Welcome back, my fellow co-caster.
I am happy to be your co-caster. I will take a back seat to your knowledge any day.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're the main man.
You know, sometimes I don't want to be the main man. Like,
You're the main man.
You ever have those times?
With great powers come great responsibilities, too.
yeah. Because I'm that man. Yeah, that happens. No, you ever have that time? Like, my day job is to lead conversations. And then you go somewhere and you just want somebody else to talk. And then you respond.
Someone else did all the work.
Very rarely does that happen. Very rarely does that happen. No one will just sit down and talk at you. They wait for you to respond. I'm like, I come up with interesting or really pathetic things to say all day. Come on! Stop adding pressure to me. I can't take this pressure.
10 seconds remaining.
Alright, meanwhile, back at the game. We'll be having Resolution batting out the Visage up against Cloud9. Razor also being removed, and then the Batrider Leica being removed out too. And we get ourselves a Doombringer and Nature's Prophet combo this time around, while the Death Prophet pick up by Team Empire with a Faceless Void combination.
We got the Vampire Furion, man. The Vampire Furion. The man from Romania. The man itself, Boner7.
Team Empire's turn to ban.
Please don't call him that again.
Sorry.
Oh, that's...
But Death Prophet and Cloud9 loves picking the Furion and going the Blade Mail build versus the Death Prophet. They just love blinking into fights, or TPing into fights with the 2-0 Talisman Treads and then the Blade Mail and the Furion, and they just love tanking the DPLT with the Furion, you know? Bone plays his Furion really well because he utilizes buybacks. He utilizes the ability to TP anywhere on the map, and he also utilizes the fact that Furion with these 2 Talismans and a Treads and a Blade Mail does close to 100 damage and just right clicks. So
we actually saw that with his previous games in the Fnatic matchup, where it seemed Cloud9 they didn't care if they would die. You knew that Nature's Prophet would come straight back again. Even Eternal Envy was purposefully dying in some positions because he just knew he'd buy back and they'll still win the fight and they'll still take a better objective after they took the fight.
Cloud9's turn to pick.
So that's really interesting. And then with the Doom follow-up, it's probably going to be an Envy Doom. This kind of already sets the way that Cloud9's going to be laning. Off-lane Furion with a safe lane Doom. And usually with the Doom, they like picking Skywrath Mage as their supports. And I've also seen them they like picking Rasta as their support. Because both these heroes, the Doom can go jungle at some point, and then the hero gets this level 6 that they need so badly. Both these heroes need 6 quite badly, because when Skywrath turns 6 and when Rasta turns 6, they turn into like a different tier of hero, like just become really, really strong. So they love picking these heroes that can utilize the level 6 with the Doom, because the Doom can always go jungle. And no, look what it is, Toby.
Team Empire.
The Rasta.
I am so surprised. I'm so surprised. You can call it
this
Rasta.
is typical AUI. Rasta, safe lane, Envy Doom. At some point, Envy's gonna go peace and jungle, and AOI is gonna be like, "Yo, Envy, go leave the lane, man. Let me take the lane." And Envy's like, "Sure, guys. Sure, guys."
What was Aui's words he put on the live stream? I sometimes tell my carries that I need experience, even when I don't, just so they leave the lane.
Damn.
5 seconds remaining.
That's what he told me during his live stream once.
Wow. Is there static on my mic, by the way?
There's a little bit of it. It was worse when we first started. It's just when you don't talk for a while.
It's better now, right?
Yeah. It's just when you don't talk, like static for some reason builds up. It's a very weird kind of thing.
Anyways, so and then the other hand, Empire has the Void, the DP Void. These two heroes together, they're pretty good, Toby, because you know DP spirits they can go into the little chronosphere and kill people in it. Like,
yeah. But what do you do in return? Because normally, like, you see SDs or you see Banes or...
I think Doom is one of the better heroes versus Void.
So you just stop the chrono altogether by having
you have to initiate in a way where you can't let the chrono get off on several people. And you need to be able to get the Blink Doom off. And Envy always goes Blink. He always usually goes Blink and Mech on Doom. And then they usually push and pressure with the hero. So he needs to get a really good Blink and Doom off on the Void. And if you actually notice on the next patch, the Doom cast thing, they've nerfed it a little bit. And that's actually a really big change because Doom was so reliant on getting this Blink Dagger and then Blink initiating with the Doom.
Yep.
And it was very hard to stop him from doing that. But now with the cast animation change on the Doom, it'll be easier to stop him. And that's one of the best changes in this patch. I felt that was a very, very good way of dealing with Doom.
Is there like with the Centaur Storm too? Because I know like the Chinese and in fact like we saw it earlier tonight with the Centaur pickup of the Doom, with the changes to Centaur too. Is that like a semi indirect nerf too? Because you lose your swiftness.
Yeah, it is a pretty big deal. I mean, but the thing is, like, in my opinion, the best creep on Doom was always the wolf creep. Yeah, the wolf creep, and that's not nerfed in any way. A late game, it's the same. I can see some situations where swiftness would help, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. In my opinion, you always just buy tranquil boots. You already move quite fast with scorched earth. You just need the blink stomp. I think the blink and then the Doom not removing passives as well as the Doom cast point increase nerf was big, and that's actually going to be a Fought Ember. This is actually very. This was a lineup they picked quite often. Cloud9 when Sing was on the team, they picked Doom and Ember together, and sometimes occasionally Furion as well. So. This is I haven't seen them pick Ember much for Fada, but this was definitely one of the best lineups they had with Sing, because Sing plays this Ember Spirit really well. He knows everything about this hero. He plays it a lot. So, it's interesting to see how Fada is going to do on it. And on contrary, Empire has Disruptor. So Disruptor, Void, Death Prophet. They actually have really good team fight. They have the Chrono, they have the Disruptor OT, they have the DP OT.
They got really good control over the Ember too, because that's double silencers and glimpse back.
In my opinion, I don't like Ember that much versus Void. I know I talked to Sing about this, but he feels that Ember's fine versus Void. But in my opinion, it's really hard to play versus Ember, Void with Ember, especially because right now the Void it's so easy to get the Chrono off. The cast animations on Void are actually really good for Chrono. Like, it's just so easy to hit the Chrono on the Ember as well.
But it's still a fraction of a second. The Ember can still jump to one of these spirits.
It is, but it's in the fights. It's really annoying to deal with as the Ember. You know, like the Void. Not just that, the Void. It's hard to really kill the Void as well with Ember, you know, like, he's just so tanky, you know, like, he has backtracks, etc. So, and Empire actually take the Enigma. And Empire's one of the teams that love Enigma, and I know Always Wanna Fly, this is one of his favorite heroes to play, so. Yeah.
Well, they know, like, economy-wise, they can always win. Like, the amount of pushing power they got against, like, the towers early on is really damn good. And then you got to face this Void for your extra teamfight control. So you got 2 sets of, in fact, you got 3 sets of teamfight control. And Disruptor can lacquer it on for either of them. Be it the Chronosphere, so then you go into your Static Storm with your wall, and then Enigma follows up with the Black Hole, or you have Death Prophet. So the Doombringer's now got 5 million different targets he's got to choose from. The downside is, Team Empire will probably also look at this, and they don't really get punished for it, do they? Because Cloud9 don't run aggro tri-lanes. So because of that, they know they can get away with just keeping the Enigma in the jungle, keep your farm up, and then just hit your timing push.
How Cloud9 deals with Enigmas, they go and ward the enemy's camps. The Enigma's camps, so they're going to try and pick a really good support that can maybe help them in a 5v5 engagement. Right now, I feel like they need to go and ward the enemy's camps, because in their opinion, if Enigma gets free farm, it's really hard to win, because Enigma with free farm means a really fast mech, and means all your towers are just going to die, you know? That was a big reason yesterday in the
10
ESL New York game and the
seconds
Navi versus the Navi versus Seeker game. In the first game, Puppy got complete free farm with Enigma, and he just went and pushed towers with the really fast mech. So this hero with the really fast mech, it's really hard to deal with. Both teams have quite greedy lineups, I feel. Like Cloud9 has Rasta, Ember, Doom, and as well as Furon. Furon isn't that technically that greedy, but I think Rasta, Ember is quite greedy. These guys, they love running their greedy lineups. But so does Empire. They have Disruptor supports as well as an Enigma. These two supports, they can't really gank that early, you know? Like, they both need a lot of levels. So both teams are just kind of chill and gonna farm the early stages. Let's see how the laning phases goes. And I want to see what the teams end with.
Reserve time.
There's still Earthshaker right now, so...
That's true.
For
Cloud9 only, they couldn't run it on Team Empire's lineup. The VS should be their final selection, so a little bit more aggression, and also something up against that Enigma Black Hole.
Yeah, that was probably their main reason that they picked it. Also because the Venge Doom Ember is really, really strong late game because you have Venge, the Aura on the Ember, as well as Doom buys when Doom gets the Wolf Creep, the Ember's damage is even more buff. So once this guy gets a Battle Fury or so, and then like a crit, he's going to be dishing a shit ton of damage on the enemy team. So I'm going to wait and see how this game unfolds. I want to see what Empire picks last. They need a silent hero right now. And look, it's a silent hero. It's a Bone Clinks. And I love Clinks actually, this game, because I feel Clinks is one of the better heroes versus Ember. Because Clinks inherent, what is Clinks' inherent first item? Always goes Orchid. Yeah, and Orchid is actually probably the best item versus Ember because Ember hates going BKB, he wants to buy damage items. But this item means that it's very hard for Ember to go out in lanes and split push. Because even though you have a Remnant at the back, Clinks can always come and kill you with the Orchid quite easily. So I felt Clinks was a really good pick. Clinks and Storm, in my opinion, are the two best heroes versus Ember. So
Man, they've got everything great up against Ember. There's so much control against this guy. The only thing which I'm not feeling great about for Team Empire is their split push capability. But there'll probably still be the fear, the fact that Silent could be running around anywhere when they just pop the TPs out.
I feel the problem with Empire's lineup is they all need so much farm and levels. That's the main problem right now. You have DP, Void, Disruptor, Enigma, Clinks. Like, the only person that can really make space in the early game is this Clinks when he gets some items, as well as this Enigma when he goes and pressure towers. I don't see Death Prophet. Death Prophet makes pressure. He doesn't really make space. I guess it's the same kind of thing. But regardless, they're going to have a hard time if Cloud9 gets a really good gank off on the DP mid with maybe the Venge. Looking at DP's movement speed, is actually a very slow hero before he gets the levels and the Witchcraft as well as Phase Boots. So he's actually quite an easy gank. With one Vengeful Spirit gank with a Smoke or something, with one stun, as well as Ember maybe having level 2 in Searing Chains, it's automatic free kill usually on the DP. So
should also flag something else out, which we haven't even touched upon yet. We might have to wait, though, in case Paladai does get this magic missile off and Fader gets a Searing Chain off. They throw down a sentry wall in case anyone's going to come near him. It's also just above the magic push, so it's not going to block both the camps up, I don't believe, with that ward.
AY's actually going to go ward the big camp.
A little secret place.
And the important thing is let's see how Empire reacts to this, because you're playing versus Cloud9 already. These guys, Empire, Cloud9, they've played a lot together. You know, like these two teams they've probably kept the same. I think in the Western scene, if you look at it, Empire, Cloud9, and AZ are the three teams that have kept the same amount of players from the original roster, right? Yeah.
Yes, for now.
Dota crashed.
I'm hoping not.
No, it is. It has to be because he paused the game before, and it looks like he crashed, and Empire Soul said it, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's just his Dota crashing. So it's just Volvo screwing up. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I don't want to go through another last night.
Yeah. Don't mention the don't mention what is the not to be named.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bulba. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
There's actually something I was going to bring up. It was just on the tip of my brain before that last moment. Oh yes, that was it. I was going to say there's one thing which we should talk about, and that's the fact that Mag is not playing tonight.
Why?
You notice that Solo is going to be the off-laner Faceless Void, and you have a guy called Soniko.
This guy actually ranked for PR at some point.
Yes he did. Yes, he did. But that was the only other place where he really like appeared anyway.
Is there like, is it just because he can't play today, or?
I don't know. I assume it's because of the EMC LAN event coming up this weekend. Because most of the Empire players are already going to get themselves on planes and everything else to get themselves over for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably because of that.
Okay. Looks like if enemy's gonna miss the block because they went toward the enemy camp. So also another thing to note, Rasta and Doom together, it's not that good at zoning out a void offlane. But this void is actually gonna get quite a bit. And look at the route that AUI picked up, Toby.
Yeah, he's already coming in for resolution.
Miss.
And just a searing chain from members. Actually, would you even go for searing chain here?
Yeah, you need to go for the flame guard.
Yeah, because you need the DPS. So shackles.
He's gonna go for the searing chains.
Yeah. There's some sharp pings coming out for Aoi right then. He went for the shackles. Fader wasn't in range for it. Because Aoi seemed to get 2 attacks in before he wanted to go for those shackles.
I don't think the problem there is I think Fada would have taken way too much from the tower to go in. I don't know, I'd have to replay that in my head because it's actually a very hard kill to see whether they were on it or not.
He could have shackled while resolution was out here. Like one attack and then instantly into shackles.
I felt he used 2 attacks. I don't think he needed to use a second attack, maybe.
Yeah, I was on the same thing because you get to attack him as you walk back past the tower anyway. So all the attacks you would have got him would have been there anyway.
Yeah, so
I'm liking the way Cloud9 are dealing with the Clink.
Searing Chain is definitely the better because it does more damage output, but it's only 1 duration. No, actually, Flame Guard does more. Just that the Searing Chains will provide an extra little 1 second disable. I don't know for sure whether... maybe there's miscommunication. I'm not sure whether they could have killed the DP or not. Probably they could have, but that was a bit weird, an AUI attacking 3 times. And look at bottom, they're actually dual laning.
This is Paladai and Bone 7. Like, Paladai threw that... the second he had the magic missile, he threw it into Silent. And Bone 7's been spending most of his time attacking directly into Silent. It's why you might see the CS on his high, but then always want to fly. Easy rotation in. And that'll be first blood going his way. And then a glimpse. Bone 7, well, he can TP out, but he's realizing, well, I may as well just keep fighting. But there's 2 kills going the way of Team Empire, and this duel off lane has failed miserably. While Solo is actually out-leveling the Doombringer on top lane.
Yep.
And in fact, actually out-CSing him. He's 8-4 up against 7-3.
The problem with this is that Void doesn't give a shit about Rasta Doom safe lane. You can't zone this guy at all. Like, unless maybe buys the poison orb and then he gets a wolf creep or something and then you just man fight him, but Rasta's one of the worst heroes at zoning out of Void. I don't know, I've played that position as well where I've been a support Rasta versus an offlane Void. It's not fun, man. It's really not fun. Like, it's probably one of the worst heroes to zone out of Void offlane. So.
Especially when Shaman, like the first time he comes up here and throws a shock onto Solo, he backtracks it.
Yeah.
So on those points, you just like, you become board smasher.
It's scary. Like right now, AOI is just probably... He's probably a sad man right now. He's just gonna go focus on the pulls. He's like, screw this. We just need to focus on the mid game. I need to get my levels. In my opinion, him getting level 6 is more important than zoning out the Void. And he knows this as well, so...
Well, for now, we've actually got Paladai trying to find farm inside the Radiant jungle. So he's given up being on the same lane as Bone 7 and tried to use Wave of Terror to farm up against the Mud Golems. And he used the choke point. He used this little choke point in here in order to get the farm.
Yeah.
And then he can move over with the second point of Magic Missile. But the Observer Ward's watching him so closely that there's no way he can surprise him. It looks like he just reveals his position anyway by throwing off a Wave of Terror.
It's interesting to note like what's gonna happen right now for both teams, because Enigma, those 2 kills he got were really, really big. Like, he basically won them the tri-lane, the 2-lane bottom with those 2 kills because the Bone Fletcher got so much gold off those 2 kills. Looking at who got first blood, who got first blood here? Oh, the Enigma actually got first blood. Actually, really big for him as well. So
that allowed Soul Ring and now into boots for 4 minutes in.
And checking out mid, both heroes are farming. It's expected. And oh, this Disruptor did a really good job of Jack Haste Rune off Fada. This Haste Rune... Oh, look at top. He's actually rotating up there.
He TP'd straight up there to try and go for Aoi. Gonna glimpse him straight back. So Solo, first hit time lock onto Aoi. He'll have to shackle, but the Thunderstrike was already gonna kill him off. And then leap up the slowed down Eternal Envy.
Bash.
They're just going to keep going with them. There's your time lock, and Eternal Envy will drop 4-1. So,
what a sick play by this Disruptor. That was such a good TP from him, actually, to make that call. Right now, like, immediate thing, you know, immediate thing went to his head. I have this Haste Rune. I'm going to go into Fog, and I'm going to TP top. I'm going to kill this dueling. That just, this one rotation, I felt just kind of snowballed the game for Empire. That was a sick play by this support player.
Well, that's let them win 2 lanes. Yeah, Aui's going to smoke himself in. He's going to get himself just in range of the Shackles over on Resolution. And Resolution's got Salve and, well, actually nothing else. The Courier came in to say hello to him, and that was actually a pretty stacked Courier as well.
That was a big play there from Rasta, but I felt Resolution. He's actually a really good player. In my opinion, he should know that this was going to happen, because when a support dies in this situation, and he feels that, especially AUI, he feels he can't really do anything top. So he's going to go make a play in another lane, and the only lane that was really possible for him to make a play in is this mid lane. Especially because Ember was so close to hitting level 6 as well. So I felt Resolution could have maybe played a bit passive there. I felt... I can't really blame him for that, but just... I think next time he's going to maybe not make that play again.
Just want to ask you something about the new patch while we got ourselves a moment that no one's going to try and kill each other. The Clinks. With now his steering arrows not being an attack modifier, do you think Helm of the Dominator is going to be like the essential item for him? Oh, he's going to fly? Okay, maybe they are going to try and kill each other, but that's a DD runed up Enigma, but it's not going to do him much. The Wave of Terror is going to come, and the damage output's more than enough from C9 to get the kill.
And he made Eidolons to give even more gold.
Yeah, but what's your thoughts actually building into like a big, like a lifesteal item? Because you've also got the Helm of the Dominator, which gives bonus life points to creeps now.
I talked to Envy about it. He just said Envy was like, I think he like said something on the stream or some shit. He's like, he's still gonna go for the same. I think you have to still go Orchid on that hero. I think maybe late game later on you can go with that Helm, but in my opinion, I don't see what substitutes Orchid on this hero, because this hero has so much mana. Look at top.
Yeah, Resolution's going to commit, and there it is. Easy, easy combo, and there's nothing now we can do. There is absolutely nothing he can do, and with one Crypt Swarm, they'll take a kill there, while Nature's Prophet dies to the Disruptor as well as Clink's combination in the bottom river.
Yep, that was a really good play there from the Disruptor. Or, that was a really good play there from the DP and the Void to rotate up there and kill the Doom. Now they're not that, they're going to pressure the tower. They're going to do some damage because there's a siege here. This is going to get some levels though. This is the only positive outfit. The Rast is getting some level.
Bone 7's trying to TP himself in. He can't get solo. With the time walk away, there's no way you can control him. The only thing they can do is switch their lanes up. But Fader's also up here. So yeah, this is rough waters for Cloud9. This kind of makes me feel like that game #1 with Fnatic, where you just the momentum on every single lane just seems to be breaking down for Cloud9.
Yeah, their saving grace right now is if Fada can maybe make some space on the map.
Yep, because he's the only one that didn't fully lose his lane.
Yeah.
He got a Rast. Yeah, he got 2 kills. He's sitting at almost the highest net worth. He's 400 behind that of the Clinks.
And another positive output is this Enigma isn't that farmed actually. Getting his gold, he's not that rich.
Highlight Eye with 2 searing arrows drops from about 90% life points to 50% life points.
Yeah, level 4 searing arrows does a shit ton of damage, 60 plus the original.
Now Disruptor's going to try and come in from behind.
Yeah, but look at smoke.
Yeah, they're going to try and smoke him from behind. They have Doom available, so they can try and control him, but at the same time, now you've got Death Prophet. 7 seconds until Exorcism breaks the smoke, so Fader will see him in Resolution, triggers the phase boots. He's not in range for a Searing Chain. Meanwhile, back inside, there's Couriers being attacked. Pardai, well, that's a big waft on the Static Storm. Pardai will die in the tree line, while the Doom was cast over on the Clinks, but he got Invis before the Doom was cast, which means he is just hiding inside the Invis. A glimpse away, that's going to take away at least one of these heroes, but will be a disruptor for a VS. And Silent, he runs up to the bottom lane. He's searching for just an easy pick-off.
Tower with this. They're gonna get bottom tower with this.
Yep.
And not just a big thing to know. Look at top lane as well. They use roster wards on top, and they're actually maybe gonna get this tower.
Yeah, the wards have to focus on the
no, because AUI doesn't want. Let's see what this is gonna do. Do they have glyph? Do they have glyph?
They do.
They need TPs right now. Who can TP?
Chrono.
Oh, that was actually that was worth it. In my opinion.
Well, it's a 2-minute cooldown. But
Yeah,
you deny him a crap ton of gold.
The deny is so important right now, like, because not just that, how much it affects the supports need these items. In my opinion, it's worth that, chronoing that just to kill. Because not just that, they use roster wars. I'm looking at mid.
Is that resolution? It is. But then again, the Enigma TPs himself in, and Fader doesn't really want a bar of that. That's an Enigma with a black hole up his sleeve. Also sitting around 500 gold away from having...
That's so unlucky there for Cloud9 because they...
Paladin's in trouble. Paladin's in a lot of trouble right now. There's still 4-point searing arrows. He's going to back up behind the tower.
That was big because the Ember used all his mana to maybe harass / try and kill the DP, but TP just found a haste and he's going to go back to farming. Meanwhile, Fada used a lot of his mana up and he has to bottle core right now, so... Enigma is quite... Let's see, he's going to have... He's 700 away from mech. So...
He's not actually progressing as quickly as I thought he would.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he's helping the other lanes, if you notice, because he went to push the bottom tower. He also went and ganked the bottom lane early on. In my opinion, you play this Enigma the way he's playing right now is fine.
Dead, but they brought Dust this time around, so no way he can hide inside the shadow, inside the Skeleton Walk. And with Envy even letting up the wall stomp, the denial almost attempted there by the Disruptor. He decided to throw out the ultimate in the wall first, though.
The Rust, when he gets level 6, they go Roshan. So, these kind of moves that Cloud9 are playing are letting them come back into the game. This Roshan as well as this kill on the Clinks. And if you notice, Cloud9 did did the gank as well as this Roshan at the same time. And when you do both these moves at the same time, it kind of confuses the enemy, you know, like it makes them they think, oh, the Clinks is dead. And also we're doing the Roshan because we can do it with Rost and Furion at the same time. So it was actually a really good player there from Cloud9 as well as giving Ember the Aegis. So.
TP's coming top. Prophet as well. Fader comes in with his Flame Guard up, so Solo can't kill him off, but he still kills off the tower. He's got Time Walk available, the Searing Chain. Leap away, so going to hold him there, which means Sprout will also be possible. One Spirit right next to him, Fader. He's got no mana left. He's got an Aegis the Immortal, but there's no way they can control Solo, especially with Always on a Fly coming in, putting a cover firing. Oh, really?
Oh my god. Everything's just going wrong for Empire right now.
What was on that courier? It had the drums. It had Solo's drums on it. And 2 Sentry Wards.
It's Solo went drum. The Death Prophet's drums, right?
No, it says Solo. It's tagged up. It's Empire Solo. That's drums for a Faceless Void.
What? Okay.
Unless it's lying to me, then I highly doubt that.
What is that? Why is the Void going drums, dude? What the hell?
What if I know? It looks like Resolution's going to go straight for a Yule Scepter. The Clinks also went for a hand of Midas. And they found Fader. Searing Chain over on 2. Double Spirits, but now he's actually caught inside the Static Storm, but he's damaged almost enough to kill off the Disruptor. One more swipe. And as a solo killer, just used the Searing Chain. That's really good experience as well as money for him. And he wasn't really risking anything because he's still walking around with his Aegis the Immortal. And with the extra help coming in from the Wrath of Nature, you get a lot of bonus damage into that.
Yeah, Empire's making a few mistakes right now. Like, maybe they can pick off Highlight Eye. This is a bit cocky from him. He's actually going to go there to ward. They might run into him.
He's still got the... Yeah, there's no actually support around him.
He's waiting for the void.
I don't know if he was looking for a body block into the corner for a moment. Support's coming up and Solo will leap. So just a little extra help in case. So the stun won't help Matt at all there, Paladai.
Yeah. And checking out Cloud9's items, he's actually went for the Midas. So Midas Doom, he's gonna be probably the top of the network soon.
He already is.
Bone 7.
He's ahead by 10-15 gold on the Clinks.
Yeah, as well as the Bone 7. He went for the Blade Mail build, as usual. And he actually has that right now, so Cloud9,
you've got double Blade Mails too, because the second Blade Mail's over on the Ember Spirit.
The hell?
So one way to stop the Clinks from directly attacking you, because he's not going straight into a BKB. But then again, with Death Pact as well as his Midas, it won't take him long to get there.
I think this is the first Ember Spirit that I've ever seen go Blade Mail, but I've seen Fada go Vanguard or number 2, so who knows?
They're going to try and push
It's actually
mid.
a cool idea. I understand his idea.
Sleight of fist, Searing Chain looking for an opening. The Chrono will go, however, and always want to fly as well as Son. They're caught inside this. There's no death apart from maybe the one on Resolution, who is already doomed up. The attack will be there. Now your Black Hole. Vader locked, but it's still only the Aegis the Immortal. Bone Seven's deciding to try and stand and fight, while a Mass Serpent was a perfect trap from Aoi, catching San, and now he'll actually skeleton walk himself away. No reveal, dust, something? Sentries? Nothing. The sentry ward was down inside the lane. They saw him run down south, but they couldn't reach him in time to get the damage in. But the Death Prophet pops. Yeah. And Cloud9, they actually get a little bit worse for that exchange.
They exchanged the Death Prophet for a tower, as well as the kill on Avenge and the Furion. So
that seems worth it for Empire.
Yeah,
if they lost the Clinks as well, then I would have said even trade.
If they lost the Clinks, I think it would have definitely been a huge kill for Cloud9 because he has the most experience on the map right now. So it would have definitely been worth it for Cloud9 there, but they didn't. I can't really say what was better because they also lost the Aegis there. Right now, Empire, I want to see what they can do. DP has his he's 800 gold away from Zeus, so the Death Prophet isn't that farmed actually. He's actually
Death Prophet has it. It's on the courier flying back right now.
Okay, so he does have his Zeus.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 15, 16 min Zeus is not that bad. I think that's a big thing is that because he actually killed the tower, he got the tower kill. That helped him get a lot of gold. So even though he died there, the kill in the tower helped him, like, kind of negated the death of him. So
the only downside is because the courier flew up to pick up the Void Stone, it didn't come. It came all the way from base, but didn't bring the rest of his items with him. There were two heroes in a position to try and defend that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, both solo and fly, with Chrono available as well. And he didn't have the Yule Scepter on him. So it wasn't a straight TP in, Yule Scepter somebody up, or have that kind of extra protection if you're initiated. And now Cloud9 are going to try and pounce the Chrono. It's over on Bone 7. Always want to fly. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chain. There's no Doom on this guy, but there's also no mech now being applied. With the Shackles over on Solo, he's got to backtrack a crap ton of damage and didn't backtrack the Wrath of Nature. That was the big damage, while Fader will add a Resolution and the Disruptor that were able to control him. So 2 for the price of 1. Cloud9 did commit basically almost all their abilities. The Master Wards are off cooldown, silent, walking in. There's already the Sentry Ward out, and now they're going to try and fight underneath that. Start looking for the way in. The Bone 7, well, welcome to the party, and goodbye from the party. Instantly taken away. Pardai, got to get this one over on start. They can turn. No War Stop, just the Alpha Wolf Aura. Pardai just going to use it to TP out to safety. Blink Dagger available, but Envy can't get himself outside that wall in time. Earn charges on him, and more than enough damage to ensure that Doom will die.
Yep, really unlucky fight there for Cloud9. Or like them losing the Doom there as well as the Rust was quite big because who did they kill originally? They killed the Void as well as killing someone else before.
They got the Void and the Enigma at the start of the fight.
Yeah, and then they kind of stayed for a bit. I felt they pressured some more. I think they could have just backed. Because even though they lost Fada, they also killed 2 people as well as getting a tower. So that was a bit too cocky from my opinion. And looking at the Clinks is actually very close.
Silent. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chain supports on the way in right now. It's going to be Pardai. Going to look for that stun. Vader's already pounced himself away. The main charge comes in from always on a fly, but Bone 7 wants to commit. They Spirit in. Pilot Eye, the Searing Arrow will be enough to get the kill. But the Ember Spirit killed off Clinks beforehand. So only the gold going the way of the Clinks and not the experience. But gold right now is all he was searching for. He's so close to that Orchid.
Yeah. He's quite close to it. Like 200 gold. He's gonna get that with his next Midas. For the next Roshan. Right now, all Cloud9 has to do is they need to just chill a bit for the next Roshan and then go do it. And once they get the Aegis again on the Ember, they can maybe make some pressure right now. Right now, they don't need to. I feel they shouldn't really force anything. Also, I'm still looking at this drums on this Void. Not sure if that's a worthy enough investment over just buying a BKB, but
you could say it's for the charges, but he hasn't even used a single one of them during these engagements, and now he's like halfway between either Morbid Mask and BKB.
I mean, it's not really just for the charges. In my opinion, it just gives him some stats as well as some mana. I'm not for sure if that's the best item to go on Void though. You're investing close to 1800 gold on this item that you don't really need, but DP didn't really go for the drums, so they at least have 1 drums on the team.
No. She's going to commit her ultimate right now. There's already a TP going away. In fact, Pardai TP'd himself up to the tier 2 tower on the top lane just then. He's standing next to his own secret shop and then walks down. So it looks like one's just coming from the north side. Resolution's always doing a lot of work, and now he's realizing that things might be a little bit off, and they get the Chrono on Fader. The Flame Guard was up.
That's why.
But they burn through it very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's why playing Ember versus Void is so annoying.
In all honesty, though, Cloud9 were not in a position to fight that. Like, Bone 7 instantly goes up towards the top lane looking for a follow-up.
I don't know why Fada just ran into that, because DPOT was not even down, you know, like...
Yep.
They were low HP, but DPOT was still up.
Yeah.
Now they lost him, and now they can get a tower.
Ended up just isolating him, in fact. Ether Shock's already gone off, looks like Doombringer. Well, he's going to keep always on a fly out this fight, while Bone 7's going to try and beat him down. There's a good ultimate coming off there from Sun the Disruptor, really controlling up Cloud9. And now we awkward for a little bit and a lot of Searing Arrow damage. He'll throw down the Mass Serpent but this just ends up being food for Team Empire. The Glimpses throwing Bone 7 a little bit further down, while the Leap down, this is actually going to be almost their entire lineup down. Considering the Ember died at the very, very start of all this, he'll come back in for a Sleight of Fist Searing Chain, turns on his Blade Mail stun, actually hits himself pretty hard with that one Searing Arrow. But
that's a sick Disruptor ulti there, by the way.
For Solo, he wants to kill again. He
Yes.
needs a time lock. He needs a time lock to make this work. He's backtracking in and the glimpse down. Fader locked into the wall, but then jumps back up to the Spirit. So he's away to safety. That Orchid was actually off cooldown for Silent, but he never got it off in time.
But these fights are just so bad for Cloud9 because Fada's not farming at all. Like, they need a Battle Fury on him. Because not just that, the entire lineup in the mid game depends on him, you know, getting these really good Battle Fury, these cleave Sleight of Fists off in the fights, but he went this Blade Mail, and then he's so far away from Battle Fury as well. Like, he only has the Claymore, so things are not looking good for Cloud9, in my opinion. I don't really know what they have to wait for the next Roshan, which is up right now, and they need to go roster wars and go do it. Because even looking at the support, Spy is so poor. He's insanely poor, and so is Rasta. Like, both the supports on Cloud9 have barely any farm.
And because of that, you got no real initiation from these guys either.
Yeah, but meanwhile, check out the supports on Empire. Even the Disruptor has earned 4 staff, so it's kind of hard to kill. The Enigma has a BKB, he has an Overaxe and a mech. He's quite poor as well, but he's tanky enough.
Oh, they found Resolution. Resolution, able to get the BKB off though. Aoi as well as Bone 7 looked at him and said, okay, he has to have friends behind him. So they hesitated to initiate straight away. I'm still going to flag though, like, yes, Cloud9 are in a bad position, but the split push power coming off from the Nature's Prophet is still very, very good. And with the level 3 Necro units up in the fight, Silent won't be able to freely move himself around. Maybe that actually, he won't really care about that once the BKB is done, which he's now 700 gold away from completing. And with a kill up on top lane, he's looking towards Fader. The Sentry Ward's going to reveal him. Pilot Eye can see him. So he's moving a little bit closer towards the tower. And then Orchid. Chrono, it got Fader. But it also managed to get Silent in the mix of this. So Bone 7 jumps himself in. He triggers some Necro units, but then disrupt the ulti. Silent stands his ground. A double kill for him. Then your Black Hole from always on a fly. Bone 7, he will die. Eternal Envy running himself up and then actually glimpsed away, helping out Eternal Envy. They'll let him run to safety. But they didn't get the kill over on the Clinks, who now just freaking take death packs as well as Hands of Midas's. They'll take the tier 2 tower from the top lane if he gets the last hit from this one. In fact, he's already got the full BKB flying out to him 23 minutes in. This game is over, man.
This game is ogre, man.
It's just, you can't fight against that lineup of Empire.
Yeah, I think this inherently came down to just the decisions that happened early game. This double kill that happened because the Clinks got so much out of that. He was not farming that well before that, but the Enigma had such a good rotation. And then, do you remember the Disruptor TP top with the haste rune? A lot of it comes back to that one as well.
Yeah. Well, when you got the double kill on the bottom lane, then you take a double kill up on the top, team-wise, not just for one hero. Like,
Envy's gonna die?
Is he? Where is he? Okay. It's just one on. Okay, it is 1 on 2. Hang on. Can you not disjoint that attack? Because I saw a Searing Arrow fly through the air and the Glimpse dragged it back and the Searing Arrow changed direction halfway through.
I have no idea.
That seems really funky.
Yeah.
You'd think a Glimpse should disjoint an attack.
Damn.
It's not really that obvious until like the arrow is on fire.
I'd have to see it again. I couldn't see it. I kind of know what you mean though. I guess it's a kind of same thing. It's like I don't think the Glimpse disjoints the attack then, I guess.
It couldn't because the arrow turned around to follow him.
That's pretty cool then.
Pilot die. Silent. He's just walking straight past him. He knows he can just Orchid and solo kill Pilot die here. Wave of Terror is going to fly. Silent. There you go. Orchid. He's going to need a couple more arrow attacks than that. The glimpse down again. He got the vision. I think he waited just a little bit of a moment for this Disruptor to move up and help him out. While Resolution uses his ultimate with the rest of Team Empire. And they take the Aegis Immortal. The one upside is that Aoi finally can buy a Blink Dagger, but if he blinks into this, he dies instantly. Or just gets glimpsed away.
Nice. Let's time to pull out our calculator to see if this was the next patch. The next episode of This Was the Next Patch.
Yeah,
featuring
you saw Nahaz's
if Cloud9, if Cloud9 killed the Clinks right now, how much gold would someone get? If Envy managed to somehow solo kill this guy,
1226, your net worth sitting up at about 18,000, just below that.
What's Cloud9's net worth?
Cloud9's net worth's currently sitting at 33,070, up against the 51,350 of Empire.
50 what for
51,350.
Oh. What's the Bowen's net worth? The Clinks' net worth?
16,530.
Then what's the level for the Clinks?
The level for the Clinks is currently level 17, and he's about to crack 18. So do the calculation for 18.
Okay, this is gonna take a bit because I need to pop my calculator out. My TI-84.
You saw Nahaz's as well. Like 2,450 was how much Eternal Envy was worth during one of the last games. During the Fnatic game.
It's insane.
It's this is a problem. Like you could almost buy it. Like, if you're lucky, you could buy a fresh BKB. I say actually you can't do that anymore because the timing is now actually attached to the hero, which I also find is rather interesting.
It is.
Solo's wanting to pounce on the bottom lane. He's just waiting for one person to be out of position, but Cloud9 are going to back up. How's the math going?
1 sec, dude. I gotta find my TI. I'll do this later, dude.
We're just gonna have to get like just think of the worst situation. Find the worst game in the history of Dota. One of the biggest comebacks you had. To see like a 30,000 net worth disadvantage. One hero sitting at level 25, like a Meepo sitting at level 25, while someone who kills him sits at like level 4. Imagine what that's like. Eternal Envy's on the run out of here. He's down to half of his life points. There's no glimpse to bring him back, however, so there's not more time for Silent to attack him. Kind of the downside about not going the Blink Dagger Clinks. But you do have now a fresh Shiva's Guard over on Eternal Envy. And his farm is catching up. Like with their Midas as well as Devour, he is getting a lot more money into him. But it's still trying to battle up against now almost an 18,000 net worth Clinks.
Yeah. Almost done, dude.
Really? You're actually trying to do the math now?
I'm doing it, dude. Relax.
You're doing
Relax.
it? It's happening. Yeah. Solo. Considering a jump up. That's Fader's... Oh, no. That's Fader's Battle Fury right there he wants. He doesn't have all the money for it. He's short by a little bit. And his hero's on the bottom. So he's just keeping it in the tree line where it's safe. Where it's secret.
Holy shit.
What have you calculated?
If someone kills the Clinks right now on Cloud9, they will get 1,800 gold on one kill, plus the streak he has.
Could you actually imagine what would happen in later portions of the game? So if the Clinks give, like, you have a bigger hero than that. Like, you actually have, like, the Eternal Envy size hero, which we had last game. Meanwhile, Solo's killing off Pilot Eye, with the help of course, the Clinks. Giving Silent now a monster kill.
So it was making 2,700 gold off one kill, man.
They're going again. Fader, Orchid, he had it, but he's not going to use it. So it's just an easy spirit away. But like the Divine Rapier rushes at the end of the game now are so much more legit. Because with one kill, you've practically got like half the money for a full Rapier.
Yeah.
That's the potential right there. Now, jump in, Envy, he's going to do one Silent, but the Make Charge is there with the Midnight Pulse. They're going to wait a little bit longer before he's going to glimpse him back in again. And there it is, puts him back inside the wall. That timing from Disruptor, perfect. He knew just how long he had to wait for it. So the Doom has been blown. Silent just comes off him, and they just push the middle lane. Resolution triggers the level 3 ulti, and they come high ground. This is the reason why Team Empire are #1 in the D2CL right now. They're looking so stable and strong. Their combinations are working, and even with a like a stand-in. Their coordination has been brilliant. And Silent stands his ground with the Orchid damage. Is that enough to kill off Pylight Die with a hit? No, it's not. But it's still enough to kill off Aoi 2000, who still tries to be important. But everyone's backing up, and then reinsert again. Envy, it's a double chrono. Oh, that's over, man. That's so over. The VS swap out solo. He'll let Pylight Die go down. He got a time lock on the Envy. GG. GG and out. 30-11. Team Empire. We have ourselves a hole of glory right here from Always on a Fly, celebrating the victory. Team Empire taking game #1 here in the D2CL matchup.
The stand-in actually played really well. I'm impressed by him.
How good was that? I suppose when you stand in for groups like the old Power Rangers, back when FNG was still playing with them, they played with such a very intense lineup that if you weren't ready to have like continuous team fights all the time with your timing being on mark, then you would never have been able to stand in for that team.
It's I don't know, just overall, like, I liked Empire's draft just because of the what happened. Like, if Empire can get past the early game, like I said, and just maybe like go around like getting some objectives down, like their heroes just feel so much better than what Cloud9 has, you know? Like DP Void, these two heroes together are just so strong, as well as paired with Enigma. The Enigma doesn't even need to get a good hole off Toby. He just needs to throw down a good Midnight Pulse, have some Eidolons up, throw up a stun, have the pressure of actually throwing a BKB, because he's probably going to get doomed every fight. And just like, I don't see what really Cloud9 can do. They have to play perfectly in these fights.
Yeah.
So
it really wasn't perfect. It was a little bit off that. And poor Envy, like, this guy's 0-7. 0-7. The Doom had nothing. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Envy having a rough game.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose he had the same thing with the Looter in game #1 up against Fnatic. So we know how that turned out in game #2. Then again, Fnatic gave him a big opening. Empire did not in this matchup. They gave him really nothing in this matchup. So, game #2 coming up shortly. I know, Bulba, you have to leave us now. I shall shed a tear. But Bulba Dota, follow him over on Twitter, boys and girls. He tweets out some awesome stuff. Not as awesome as Universe's Twitter. Like, that Twitter is awesome. That is like next level Disney Twitter. But definitely follow Bulba over on Bulba Dota. You can find him there. He used to be Liquid Bulba. Now he's Bulba Dota. Until he gets sponsored by Upon.
Wow.
Give it time, man. Alright. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back. Game #2 in just a moment.
See ya.